Hey, what is up, you guys? You know what time it is. It's time for another Stellar 60 from yours truly. We're going to be running a deck tech of Hall of Champions, but before we get into it, I want to tell you that this deck is much different than what we were previously running, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be a little bit controversial because it's out there. It's a lot different than what we used to run, and as a side note to that, I want to give a shout out to McHealthy down there in the comments down below. He's been a subscriber apparently for a while, and inadvertently and kind of accidentally helped shape this deck into what it is. We accidentally met up on Steam while I was playtesting this, and I didn't even know he was a sub or anything, but I played against him a couple times after making tweaks and stuff. I just kept being able to find him, and it was great to play against somebody who was at a high skill level because that helped bring this deck up to snuff. So thanks again to you, I really appreciate it. And before we get in here, I just want to reiterate that this deck is a little strange. It's really good though. I promise that if you stick with me, you watch the 60 and then you hang out for the entire week, you watch up to Friday, this deck is going to show you some serious shit. I promise you. This thing is pretty awesome. It's a little out there, and the very first thing that I want to talk about is this little shame wagon that's down here at the bottom. So we're going to talk about what's going out onto the field of battle first, then we'll pop upstairs and talk about what I left out of this pile. First things first, I want to take a look at the 24 lands that make up the mana base for this thing. Now, a lot of you guys will know that I am a fanatic about the ratios and the math behind mana balancing in the game of Magic the Gathering. I'm kind of crazy about it. I have algorithms and math that I run all the time. That being said, these 24 lands and 4 Terramorphic Expanses, 20 lands and 4 Terramorphic Expanses, are half math, half mysticism. And a part of that came because the 8/8 Plains and Forest actually comes straight from the algorithm that I'd be running, but the 4 blue actually comes from 5 blue from the math, and then me saying fuck it, pulling one of them out and shoving another Terramorphic Expanse in because I absolutely could not get this game to draw what it needed to draw. But once I put this 5th or 4th Terramorphic Expanse in, it all started running really weirdly smoothly. So we've got the 16, we've got the 8 and 8 and the 4 and the 4 Terramorphic Expanses. In a perfect world, I would run 3 of these. Well, in a perfect world, I would run none because there's way better mana fixing options out there. But in a perfect game world, I would run 3. For this one, for some reason, I just bumped it up to the full 4-pack. Trust me, you guys, it works for me. Hopefully it'll work for you. This is what I run. If this is running all janky for you, though, you want to pop that out and put in that 5th blue island, I won't blame you because that's what I tried. Did not work, though. Next, we're going to talk about a 4-pack of Akrasan Squires. These guys, the Fighting Squires of Arkansas, are a great team. They've got a really great offensive line because they're going to come down turn 1 and just exalt right across the field turn 2 for 2 damage. I really do like these guys. The chances of us getting them out turn 1 are pretty high because the 8 white mana that we have, and that does factor into the math quite a bit, is that our low drops are generally white. Also, pretty much the only dual drops that we have where it requires 2 of a color are going to be white as well, so that's why that's down there. We also want the 8 green because of the early green drops that we have, and we have quite a few of those as well. We also want to be able to do Sigil Blessing whenever we feel like it, so we want that early on. So that is one more portion of why the mana looks like that. Squire's a really great card. 4 of them. It makes me feel very comfy because even late game, we can just drop one of those down and it might be the 1 burst of damage, the 1 point of damage that we need on a trample guy or something like that, or a flying guy or something like that, where it's just going to go across the field and make us win. So I like these guys. I don't think their dead drops hardly any point of the match, but, sometimes they'll be a little too late, and they do show up to work a little late sometimes, but I do like having the full 4-pack in there for sure. Deft Duelist I love because it's got First Strike and Shroud. It can't be targeted by me. It can't be targeted by you. But it does have First Strikeletons, which I enjoy quite a bit because if things are running well, then it's just going to be charging across the field with a really crazy high attack point early on in the game. We're talking like 4 or 5 as early as turn like 3, which is really crazy, and that's something that you're really happy when you see it. You don't always, but even if you don't, it's a first strike Shroud guy, which is really good on defense as well. I love this friggin' thing. This Knotvine Paladin is a great card. It's been across Magic for a while now, and we've seen it a couple times in here. I like this guy because of the +1/+1 kind of reverse exalted that it has. If you have exalted guys out, like if some crazy thing happened, you had all 4 of these guys out, then that's going to be 8 +1/+1 temporary until end of turn. But it's going to be +8/+8 on this guy while he's charging across the field, which is really great. That's actually pretty awesome. Don't forget, though, that that's not exalted, being in that if you play something with Summoning Sickness, but you're attacking with a full field like you're attacking with 3 other guys, he's still going to get +1/+1 from the Summoning Sickness guy and anything else you leave back that you don't want to attack with. So keep in mind that he doesn't have to attack alone for that to happen. It's just the added benefit of that exalted. It's a great card. It's really big early on, and that's kind of what we're going for, is big, dangerous stuff early on. Even though this particular deck does have a fairly okay mid-range or mid-game point that it can generate some pretty good momentum mid-game, so you're not going to have too much problem there. Late game, this isn't really a powerhouse, and that's why we want to do as much damage early on as possible, because then if we get to late game, we can pressure them with, you know, some Pridemages and a lot of little guys, and hopefully a Sigil's Blessing will get us out of the late game and into the winner's circle. Speaking of Pridemage, this guy's amazing because you can sacrifice it and destroy target artifact or enchantment, which is absolutely spectacular, especially against the new enchantment pile. That's going to be really good. It's got Exalted, so it plays into the whole theme of this deck really well. And it also can destroy artifacts in case somebody's running, Samurai against you. Like, you can jite all over it, which is kind of great. That guy's good. 3 of them. 1 of this guy because that's all they give us, and 2 of the Deft Duelist because that's all they give us of them as well. We also run 2 Jhessian Infiltrator. Sure, why not? Can't be blocked. It's a 2/2 for 2. I like it. The can't be blocked thing is pretty neat. It doesn't always come up, but it is a pretty good card, so I like running that. Sigil's Blessing is a home run hitter. I tried running just 1 of them, and that was crazy. That was crazy talk. They only give us 3, so that's why there's only 3 in here. I think I would run 3 even if they gave us a 4-pack, just because it's not always what you need. Sometimes you don't have enough guys out there for it to make a huge difference. But there's lots of different things you could do with this card. If you're playing against red-blue and they go to board wipe, you can Sigil's Blessing and save all your guys if they tried to even it out. But more often than not, it's going to be when you're on the attack. You're going to be able to give +3/+3 to an unblocked creature. That's going to become a huge threat. You know, most of the time, these are just kind of things that you can do. The fact that it's so tricky that it can absolutely wreck people, and I'm going to tell you a story real quick, that earlier on, I was fighting against the artifact pile, and they had 2 of those guys that are protection from color out, so they're 5/2s at that point, because they also had the other guy that gives people like +3 in the ass, or +3 in the front if you have Metalcraft or whatever the hell that's called. So what was going on there is that was their field. They had the +3 guy, the legendary creature that costs a shit ton, and then they had those 2 etched soldiers, I think they're called, that are 2/2s but have protection from colors. And this guy had, what did he have? 8 life, I think. And I was attacking in with just one dude, and I had the Sigil's Blessing in hand. And if he had blocked down with both of those etched champions, which is what they're called, if he had blocked down with both of them, I wouldn't be able to kill him because I was attacking for 10, you know, with the Sigil's Blessing. But, so I was crossing the field for 7 trample damage. He blocked with just 1 of the 5/2s. I was able to Sigil's Blessing. That made it a 10 attack. He lost the match. That's all I'm trying to say. Sigil's Blessing is fucking awesome. That's it. It was a terrible story. I need visual aids. There needs to be pictures. I should have just recorded the match, but it was too late. Cool story, bro. Then I found $5. It was awesome. Martial Coup is not good, but I need it, man. You need it. You need it, because I'll tell you what. It's not good until you're facing zombies or something, and even then, you drop 4 1/1s. That'll buy you a couple turns. And sometimes that's all you can do. Marshal's Coup it's a shit ton of mana, but you need just one of them. I would never run two of them. I'm not even crazy about running one of them, but it does what it has to. It does what it has to, and it has come through in a pinch. Sometimes you just got to drop some 1/1s. I mean, God, if you have, we're going to jump ahead here a little bit, but if you have her out, dropping a couple 1/1s is going to win you the damn game. So that's one point of it. Martial Coup, it's in there. What do you want? What are you going to do? I mean, that's the best thing. I'm not running this fucking thing, so that's the best I can do on that front, on the board wipe front. Jenna here is pretty damn good. She'll let you pump her if you pay her a 1 and a white, which is pretty respectable. You can get up there in damage because it's the 1/1 counters that's going to continually build. And of course, we've got a ton of exalted creatures, which are also going to really help you out. So I do like that creature. I think it's pretty great. It's got evasion too with the flying, which is kind of awesome. This is not a guy that I particularly like having. He's got some cool animations, which is nice, but you already got hit. You already got hurt. You've got the damage down in your heart. He is exalted, though, so he does play, I don't know, destroy target creature that dealt damage to you this turn. Unless they can kill you all out, it is possible that he will deter some damage. I don't know, you guys seem to be a pretty big fan of him. Hopefully I see him a lot. I have not seen him. I have play tested with him in the build before, but I never ever see this guy. Hopefully we'll see him this week and we'll be able to check him out together, but he's in there for you guys. There's a lot of comments circulating about that guy being pretty good from older videos as well as newer ones as well. So, hey, I see that he kills stuff, and there isn't really a good way for this deck to get rid of creatures other than this guy and some hicks and bumps that we'll have later on to show you. But I'll put him in there because, like you guys have pointed out, there's not a lot of removal in this pile, so he might be pretty useful. This guy's friggin' tank. He's a tank of gasoline. For 3 mana, I've got a 3/4 on the field all day. Lifelink is just icing on the cake. I run a 4-pack of this guy. I would run a 9-pack of this guy if they let me. God, I love this thing. And the mana curve on this is spectacular now, so that I usually do have Domain by turn 3. It's not always early game. You're not going to be able to play this guy on time a lot of the times, or this guy on time a lot of the times, or this guy, it depends. Depends on what's going on. But you will have Domain by turn 3, 9 times out of 10. You'll be able to drop that guy right on time because it's a 4-pack. You're going to be seeing him pretty often, and he is amazing. Dauntless Escort, 2 of those because that is just tricks for days. Oh my God, I don't know why people still don't see him coming. The only thing that's going to shut him down is going to be neg 1 counters because Indestructible is not going to change that fact at all. The neg 1 is a classic way to kill an indestructible creature. Fun side note, if you can damage an indestructible creature down to a neg 1 range and then give it the neg 1 counters, it'll die. Just so you know. It's like if it's 7/7, you do 6 damage, 1 neg 1 counter on it, that's a dead creature. Just public service announcement for the day. Dauntless Escort's in this fucking deck. He's great. Put him in there. This thing's look at this cat. Look at this guy. Look at that. That's just crazy. He's kind of cute, which is weird, but it's a little bit. Just a little bit. Anyway, who's a cute cat? This guy will just flash out there. I love this card. I love this card. It's a 2/3 with reach. They'll just jump out of your hand. No one ever sees him coming. Ever. No one knows he's in this pile because you never see him. I've seen him once or twice in playtest in this thing, but I'll never take him out. I love that thing. Just because the look on, the digital look on people's faces. I just wish there was a webcam because you'd be like, wait a minute, what? Just block shit down. It's great. 3 Bant Charms, however you want to call it. I like this card a lot. It says destroy target artifact in there, which I tend to forget constantly because you don't use it a ton. But I do use it as removal in the form of put target creature on the bottom of its owner's library. That's great for zombies. That's great for a lot of stuff, actually. Or counter target instant spell. Because most of the decks don't have a way to really shuffle up, so you're never going to see that creature again. So that's kind of great. Counter target instant spell is good. It's instant spell, though, so be mindful of that when you're playing it. 3-pack of those guys, because one of them is not in here. 4 is too many. Let's put it that way. A Rafiq of the Many. This guy is great. Look at that. That thing's awesome. I want to ride that around. He's got a battle cat back there. He's got Exalted and grants double strike. He just gives double strike in the form of high fives to his buddies all day. This guy looks like a goblin, but I'm told he's a human knight. I'll believe the artist there, Chris. Hey, I'll take your word for it. This guy's a knight of New Alara. He's going to give +1/+1 to all these. I gotta say, hey, that's a 6/6. Or is that what we got? What we got here? Hey, that's a 4/5. Just, it's pretty great. That's a great card. I love it. I run one of them because they give me one of them, and that's in there. Sublime Archangel is in this deck. I should not have to tell you that, I don't think. I think pretty much everybody that runs this deck runs the full 2-pack that you are allotted of Sublime Archangel. It's amazing. Exalted stacks, so if it already has Exalted, it gets double Exalted. Exalted squared. So like this guy over here is now +2/+2 to whoever's attacking by itself. So that's a good time. It also has evasion. So you play it one turn, it pumps somebody to the moon, then you attack because it's got evasion and it pumps itself to the moon on your next turn. So that's great. It's fantastic. This guy's got trample, so he's in the deck. Yep, 3-pack, done. Finest Hour is your finest hour. It's just win you the game sometimes. It's real good. Well, hopefully we see it. I only run one of them, so you never know, but it's a fantastic card. All right, you guys, I'm gonna run through these top ones pretty quick. I mean, let's do it this way because I think this actually is gonna get us into the stuff that people care about earlier. Akrasan Squire, I've only got 2 of them. It's got evasion, I'm aware, but I've got 1/1s for cheaper that have Exalted. I don't want to see Akrasan Squire. I've got other things to do on my turn 2. I'm trying to fix my mana turn 2. I'm trying to drop these guys turn 2, and they've got better tricks than just evasion and Exalted. That guy's really good, and he's super aggressive. You could probably make a case to putting him in here instead of this guy. Then you could probably change the mana up a little bit and maybe not have to worry about the blue as much. But blue is already so small on here. But you definitely wouldn't care so much that you don't have domain turn 2. I would listen to that, but I like the unblockable. It's better evasion for me. I know it doesn't have Exalted, but that's just a stronger 2-drop in my opinion. So you could make the case to drop that in there for those 2 guys, though, and I would listen to you, and I'd say those are good points. Martial Coup, I don't want 2 of them in here. This thing says Defender on it. This thing's got Reach and Exalted, but it's only a 1/3 for 3. I don't want that. This is too slow for this deck. I'm trying to be fast here. Piranha is bullshit, and I hate this card, so I don't run it. Ever, pretty much, and like anything. And if I do run it, I definitely don't run Indestructible or anything garbagey with it, because I just, that really, like, what was it? Was it last year that was the big thing, or was it this year? I don't know, but it's like everybody was playing that for a while. It's just really disheartening. It's super easy to actually get rid of. There's tons of ways to get rid of that combo, so it's pretty good, but we don't really have room for it. I like my removal in this particular deck to be a little bit more versatile, so that's why we have Charm. And if we put it in, we're obviously going to get rid of the creatures. Like, the creatures on here is crazy. 28 creatures is insane, so we'd want to get rid of one of our other spells. What are we going to get rid of? For Finest Hour is not getting gone for a defensive spell, a largely defensive spell. What else? I mean, there's these guys. I'm definitely not going to get rid of Charm, because we can do so much else with Charm. Nah, because that's a board wipe. Screw that. Because they know it's coming. You know, they know it's coming when you put it on there. Because you're putting it on there on my turn. So they're going to be able to figure something out to deal with it. So Pariah's up here. I don't like it. 1 Charm, because like we said, that's 1 too many. I played with this. I drew it, and I was sad. So that's up there. I'm like, what the fuck do I get? Like, there's like, I have 7 mana. So I couldn't get like this. I could have put Sublime Archangel on the field, but I didn't have enough. What was I facing? Dude of Zendikar that came out, and so what was there? Yeah, next turn there would have been. Next turn there ended up being, you know, whatever, 7 5/6s or whatever the hell. So that's what I was facing down. Was Zendikar guy had come out, Avatar Zendikar or whatever had come out and shit out all those little O1s. And then he was just like, your turn. And I was like, draw, Wargate, I'm screwed. Because, like, what the hell do you get there? The answer is nothing, especially considering my board position. The only thing that really would have done well for me there was Martial Coup, though. That's the only thing that would have won it for me. But Wargate, no. Made me sad. If you draw a card and it makes you sad, get it out of the deck. That's my thing. This is just, it's like one use, and I've got better cards. Restoration Angel, I love Restoration Angel. I want Restoration Angel in my house so I can just be like, hey, you're awesome. But not in this deck, you guys. It's just, I don't have any enter the battlefield effects. Let me stress that again. I do not have a single enter the battlefield effect in this deck, which means that I'm literally just going to flash this in to dodge removal and to block down, which is pretty good in and of itself. But I don't have room for it. What am I going to take out? Rafiq? That's not happening. I'm never going to take him out. He's my buddy. We could take this weird little goblin man. No, I'm not going to take that out. He's my friend too. I could take out one of these, but that thing has trample. So there you go. I don't know. Restoration Angel is really good, but I couldn't find space for her because her mechanic does not gel particularly well with this deck. I understand that you can flash it in for, to dodge removal. That's what we just said. But I don't know. She stayed in. Ivory Mask, I have Shroud. I don't care. Face Reward, return all cards it come back that were gone. This turn. No. This thing costs a lot. Look at that. That's too much for a 2/4. It's 55 mana. Never going to play that. Lifelink, I don't care enough about to play this thing. If it had maybe another trick, it's got Exalted, but and Evasion. It costs 5, so that's up there. This costs 5 too, and it's a garbage card. Like, people don't even run this in draft. Like, I remember people playing this against me in draft, and I was just like, no. Finest Hours upstairs because I don't run 2 of them. It's a pretty good explanation. I don't know. You don't really need 2 in your deck. I think they would stack, though, so you get like 8 attack turns or whatever, but I don't know. I took it out. Make room for some smaller stuff. Because like I said, we want to be super aggressive early on. I think I took it out to make room for the second one of these, actually. And so far, I've been pretty happy with that turnaround. Maybe I could get rid of something at the lower end, but when you look at that, when you're trying to balance it out and you're trying to get rid of stuff at the low end, you're not going to get rid of your trample guy, I promise you, because that guy always shows up and he's always good. You're not going to get rid of Sublime because that thing is a home run hitter. And you're not going to get rid of these guys for that either, to be honest with you, because they're earlier. Like, you're going to drop this turn 4 and have a huge threat on the board. And you need Domain +2 for this thing. So that's up there. Other permanents I control have Hexproof. That's cool. I don't run it. No. No either. It's like a billion mana. What are you talking about? Get out of here with that. Get that out of here. This thing is good. Turn 6. I don't know. I never played it in this build. What would I just wouldn't get rid of it. Like, I played with it before and it did jack shit for me. I'm thinking that maybe you could take out Martial Coup for it. You probably never see it anyway. It makes a little buddy named Voja, which is awesome. Named tokens are always super rad, but it's a 4/4 green as long as this guy's out there too. It's a little 4/4 guy. Tolsimir Wolfblood. It's cool. Everything about that card's cool, but it just costs a little too much for me. So is this. Costs too much. It's good sometimes. Most of the time it's not. I got beat by it almost, but I got out of that anyway, I think. I might have got beat by it, but someone in the comments was like, that shouldn't have happened or something. That card rarely goes off. So that's okay. That's upstairs. I don't really like it too much. This costs a billion mana too. It's not. Protection from all colors is kind of cool, but a 4/4. Like, I should win. To be honest with you guys, I don't get to 6 mana super often. Like, I understand the Martial Coup down there is just ridiculously stupid then, if I say that to you, but I really don't. Like, I see 5 sometimes, and that's cool, because I could do Finest Hour, but 6 is just asking a little bit too much, and these guys are not good enough for that late game turnaround. That guy might win you the game. But that guy, you've got too much time for your opponent to remove that guy. It's cool, though. He's got, like, little friends ghosting around. It's kind of neat. This thing's garbage. It costs $1 billion. This, I don't even want to read what the hell this does. I don't care. It costs 50. This also costs a ton, and this is big and fat, so that's out of the deck as well. Goodbye, everybody. Like I said, this if you're getting late game, you're in big trouble with the rest of this deck. You'd have to completely retool the entire deck in order to get you to these big fat guys. That's not what this deck is. We were flashing all over the place. It's not what this deck is supposed to do. It's not what my build is supposed to do. So you can make arguments for these cards, like in a vacuum, yes. If I want to play, yeah, sure. In a perfect world where I get to play that like turn 1 or some ridiculous bullshit, sure, that'd be great. But in this deck, I'm not seeing this thing. And if I am, it's not winning me the game. Something's gone very wrong for me to be able to play that. So there you go, you guys. I know it's kind of crazy. I know there's going to be a lot of talk about it down in the comments, but I promise you, if you stick with me this week, this deck is going to show you some things. It is running really well, and maybe it's just luck on my part, but I guarantee you that this deck is a champion racehorse, and it's going to get us across the finish line. Anyway, you guys, thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my 60. Let me know your opinions on it down below. But keep in mind, this week is going to blow your brain out your butt if you hate this deck, because I promise you, it's a good deck. But thanks for watching this video. I really, really appreciate it. Let me know what you want to see from the channel in the future. We don't have too many more decks left, so maybe just some weird build ideas for some of this other stuff, like, I don't know, no creatures and swords of samurai. Just, yeah, I don't know, something crazy. Give me something crazy to do. We're getting bored over here. Don't have too many more decks to run. But anyway, I want to tell you guys about my other channel, Technovolver. If you guys want to head over to that, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you can, because that helps support Tech Daily Duels as well. And there will be a review going up on Thursday over there. iOS reviews are going to start happening again. What's happening is going to be coming back, so please check that out for me, and I would really appreciate it. I'm moving all those kind of shows over to the Technovolver channel so that we can keep this channel pristine and magic full. Yeah. That's what we're doing. Anyway, you guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow.